Well, things might not be as dramatic as what you just saw, but many people, even bigger reviewers and critics, are starting to say that Cartoon Network has fallen from grace, especially from where it was about 5 years ago. And no, I'm not talking about people like Mr. Enter or IMDb reviewers. I'm talking about physical data and the people who actually make the news, the people who actually have an influence on the TV industry. Today, we're going to see how valid of a claim it is to say that Cartoon Network is dead. Hey, so Happy New Year! 2018, crazy, isn't it? I mean, I started this channel in 2016. It feels so old already. Anyways, let's start this Cartoon Network review. Is Cartoon Network dead? There are certainly many claims on either side of the field, from indie critics to the aforementioned IMDb reviewers to the news. In all groups, however, there are some people that say that Cartoon Network is an immortal god and that everything it creates is incredible. Then there's people that say Cartoon Network has doomed itself and that the shows are nothing like what they grew up with. Now, to be fair, of course, I'm not some impartial smartass that thinks that both sides are stupid. I tend to align more with the latter, although I don't tend to think that the shows I grew up with were all that good. Exceptions were exceptions. I think probably that the best argument to be made towards the fact that Cartoon Network is dying is the fact that their ratings right now are awful.
The channel pulled an average of only 588,000 daily views. That's it. That places the network at 13th on Kids Network Television. For some context, that puts them below Adult Swim, which is technically their night block, a part of the schedule that right off the bat is set up to have way less people tuning in.
Not only is Nickelodeon beating them with all viewers, including children, but with adult viewers as well. You would think that this would be some sort of red flag to Cartoon Network, but apparently what's more important is marathoning Teen Titans Go instead of looking at their ratings. I mean, I get why they're doing it. Teen Titans Go is doing well compared to the other shows on Cartoon Network. The problem is, though, that when you only play one show, you can't expect your ratings to grow much past a certain point. I mean, if you marathoned Adventure Time 24/7, that would be the most popular show on the network because everyone would watch that show. People can't get invested in a show when you're playing the premiere, then forgetting about it.
The show premiered with a viewership of 1.3 million viewers, which is pretty great, especially for a premiere. However, the latest episode only had 840,000 viewers. The premiere is actually the most viewed episode, the lowest episode being episode 12 with only 720,000 views. What's even worse is that the show hasn't hit more than 1 million viewers since episode 10. That's 11 episodes ago. And who knows if the views will spike up after this. Could this be the beginning of the end for OKKO?
Nickelodeon, on the other hand, has a much more diverse lineup throughout the day, which is probably why several 100,000 more people are watching them throughout the day. The other problem for Cartoon Network is that they haven't picked up many good shows lately. There's the Powerpuff Girls reboot, which was critically panned, Mighty Magiswords, which is so boring and basic it wasn't even worth a review, Ben 10, which was a watered down version of the original, and OKKO, which, although I didn't hate, was honestly really boring, and I can't see kids being interested in it. So that's the recent shows that Cartoon Network has decided to pick up, and out of all of them, I only slightly liked one. That's not a good sign. The funny thing is, I've actually seen good pilots on Cartoon Network like Paranormal Roommates and Obituary, but Cartoon Network has instead decided to follow a losing strategy of picking up reboots and spin-offs of classical shows. There's rumors now of a Johnny Bravo reboot, which makes me just wonder, why? It wasn't even really all that popular, and yet, even if it doesn't get picked up for a show, somebody came up with the ingenious idea to reboot it. I mean, look, I want a genuine answer. Who on earth is going to watch a Johnny Bravo reboot? Like, seriously. Somebody please answer me. Oh wait, that's right, nobody! Meanwhile, Nickelodeon is pushing out tons of new shows. In fact, soon I'm gonna have to do more reviews on their new shows. How many reboot shows are on Nickelodeon? Oh right, just Ninja Turtles, which did so well that it's now Nickelodeon's second longest running show. I wonder why Nickelodeon's beaten Cartoon Network. And look, I'm not saying this to worship Nickelodeon, it's the network I watched the least when I was young, but clearly they've learned how to run their network properly. I would include Disney as a comparison, but they tend to not be on as many people's cable packages, so if I included them, there would be some bias. Personally, Disney seems to be doing good too, but like I said, I don't have general ratings or decent reviews from indie critics, so don't just take it from me. Cartoon Network is also holding on to some pretty crappy acquired programming. Not only did they manage to lose Pokemon somehow, but their upcoming acquired programming doesn't look any better. Unikitty.
What?
And
Mega Faggot.
great lineup. I mean, this stuff is going to be critically acclaimed. It's going to earn tons of Emmy Awards in the kids shows lineup. The last thing I'm going to be talking about are the shows that are the lifeblood, metaphorically, of the network. By lifeblood, I don't mean that these shows are necessarily good or bad, just that without these shows, the network would be screwed. In Nickelodeon's case, that distinction would probably go to SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, and The Loud House. Cartoon Network's lifeblood, despite the fact that they don't even air some of these shows very often, is Adventure Time, Teen Titans Go, and Steven Universe. In Nickelodeon's case, their lifeblood shows will continue living on. It will probably not end anytime soon. In Cartoon Network's case, Adventure Time is already done for. Steven Universe is probably next. And Teen Titans Go probably isn't going anywhere. The sad thing is that a lot of the reason why these shows are ended is because of Teen Titans Go. It airs so much that when Adventure Time comes on, people that don't like Teen Titans Go aren't going to watch it, and that injures the ratings. So, if Cartoon Network wants to keep fueling retards who do nothing but whine and complain all day about Teen Titans Go, they should keep pushing this show. Oh, it's your new favorite show. Oh yeah, thanks. Now I got a bunch of autistic retards online complaining about this show.
But guys, I really cannot take this anymore. This is my final video on me talking about Teen Titans Go.
I don't care.
Although, to be fair, there are a few retards that whine about every show, so I mean, in some aspects it just doesn't matter, but in some aspects it does. And just like I said with Nickelodeon, I'm not a show shill or a fanboy. For this review, I just looked at what the critics said and made my own conclusions. Not on my opinions though, which is why, even though most critics like OKKO, I'm not off the wall for it. But I mean, my other reviews, like my show reviews, are where I try to give more of my general opinion. In conclusion, is Cartoon Network done? Not really, but the ratings suck right now, their new shows are getting no traffic, and they think their best option to get out of their pickle is to keep rebooting shows. I mean, that could change in the future, maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. And if it does for the worse, I will gladly take a moment of silence for Cartoon Network, and then become depressed for 3 days.
After reviewing this episode, I was in a depression for 2 days. Yes, I hate this episode that damn much.
Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate any homies who stuck through to the end. Happy 2018 from Florida, and don't forget to stay mystic.